Let's talk about one of my least favorite things in the world, rules. But rules, when they are concerning Facebook, are actually incredibly useful. And we're going to talk about some of my favorite ways to actually use rules to really make automating your ad sets so much more efficient and simple when you actually start to have a lot of them, right? Because if you have 100 ad sets, it's very difficult to go through all of them individually and say, okay, I want to scale this one 15%. I want to, pause any of them that have my cost per purchase over $5 or things like that. But with rules, you can make that incredibly easy. And so let's talk about how I like to use these. The way that I like to use them is with all active ad sets. And you can do this a couple of different ways. The two main ways that I like to use it are turning off ad sets and adjusting the budget. For the first one, we're talking about turning off ad sets. So what we're going to do is, if we want to make sure that we turn off any ad sets that are getting a little bit too expensive, we first have to establish what our kind of acceptable cost per purchase is. So let's say that we're selling, Bluetooth headphones on Shopify, and we realize that, okay, our profit per sale is about $5. And so if we want to turn off all ad sets that are our cost per purchase, right? And when I say cost per purchase, I mean the amount of advertising dollars that we're giving Facebook in order to get one purchase, right? So the amount of money we're spending on ads to get one purchase in return. So if our cost per purchase, and I like to do cost per website purchase. Okay, so down here in website conversions by Facebook Pixel, I like to do purchases. So this means that we're going to turn off all ad sets if the conditions match the following. The purchases on the Facebook Pixel is greater than $5, right? So this means that if at any time an ad set is costing more than $5 per purchase, this rule will automatically turn it off. And the best results that I've gotten for time range is actually the running average over the last 3 days. And you can leave the attribution window according to account default. And so yeah, you can notify both yourself on Facebook, and you can also do email if you want. And we're just going to call this one turn off ad sets if cost per purchase is over $5, right? And then we'd create that. And so let's talk about the other most common way that I like to use rules, and that is actually to increase budget. So let's say that we have, we have to do active ad sets. So let's say that we have an ad set that's performing really well, or we have like 50 ad sets or 100 ad sets or something like that. But we want to raise the daily budget of our ad sets that are performing well. What we're going to do is we are going to, instead of doing turn off all ad sets, we're going to do increase daily budget by. And a common misconception, guys, which is so important to understand, a lot of the other Facebook teachers and people out there are saying that you can raise your budget, your daily budget, by whatever you want, and you'll get the same results, right? So if you're spending $100 a day and you're getting 50 sales, if you then go to $200 a day, you get 100 sales. But that is not how it works at all. You cannot scale proportionally like that. I wish more than anything it was true, because I would raise my budgets to $1 million a day, and then I would be, buying islands and going crazy and doing things like that. But unfortunately, that's not how the real world works. But what we can do, guys, is we can increase our daily budget by between 15 and 30% per day. And you can set a maximum daily budget cap, just so you don't want to turn this on and forget about it, and then all of a sudden it's spending like $1 million a day and you just can't afford that upfront cost. And so I usually like to set it at like $1,000 a day. And if you're a larger company, or you have more ad spend, I've set these as high as $10,000 a day, or even $100,000 a day. So the action frequency, you can set this to the default. And what I like to do again is down in website conversions for Facebook Pixel, we're going to do purchases. And we want to increase the budget if purchases are smaller than $4 per purchase. So this means that if any of our ad sets are getting us purchases for under $4 per purchase, then we want to raise the budget, the daily budget of those ad sets, by 15% every single day. right? And we're gonna do a time range in the last 3 days. And we're gonna set the schedule for daily 12 a.m. Alaska time, which is fine. You can set a custom schedule if you want, but I generally just like to leave it on the default for here. And again, you can set a custom here if you want, but I like to just leave it again on the default. And so what this allows you to do, guys, is it kind of takes out a lot of the manual work, because humans are, computers are really good at some stuff and they're really bad at some stuff. Humans are really good at some stuff and they're really bad at some stuff. Humans are really bad at performing the same tasks at the same time every single day because people are busy, they get caught up, whatever. So this takes out a lot of the kind of human element of it, and it allows you to actually increase your daily budgets automatically. And this is such an unbelievably beautiful kind of way to really scale without having to constantly monitor your own stuff. And the action frequency, sorry, I made a mistake when I said that earlier. The action frequency for the increased daily budget buy, I actually like to do once daily, because I've generally found that if you increase your daily budgets by 15 to 30%, 30% being kind of the max, I generally like to do, between 15 and 25. I've just found that that's by far kind of the best percentage to raise it by. If you do it every 24 hours exactly, right? And this is going to do it every 24 hours. And the reason we put 3 days here is so it's a running average. Sometimes on the first day it might be super high, the second day it might be super low, and so you want to kind of have it as an average so that the outliers don't actually cause the rule to fire and turn off your account, your ad sets, even because they might actually be very profitable. So I like to do every 3 days. This is the number of days of data you'd like to apply to your rule. But if you increase the daily budget by 15%, every 24 hours, you're going to have very, very good results for this particular rule. So that is rules, guys. That's automation rules. That is one of the best ways that you can possibly save yourself so much time, especially if you're running a Facebook ad agency. I had people who didn't know about this who were spending like 20 to 30 hours a week just going through and manually adjusting ad set after ad set for literally hundreds of ad sets for all of their different clients. And I was like, man, you gotta check out these Facebook rules. And they're like, oh my God, Kevin, you've literally saved me 30 hours a week where they can, devote to finding new clients or just relaxing and having a beer on the beach, right? So that is the automation rules, and they are going to save you so much time and energy. I can't even describe it to you. And learning this stuff the right way from the beginning, guys, you won't even realize how much time you save, which is basically going to mean that I did my job correctly. But if you did learn this the wrong way, or you've been doing it a different way and you're seeing these, you probably understand how unbelievably beautiful and amazing these automation rules actually allow you to kind of save yourself time. So we just went through a lot. We went through all of the different marketing objectives. We went through automation rules, custom conversions. We talked about when to use which marketing objectives. We talked about dynamic product ads, catalog sales, how important video views are, how to use lead generation campaigns, a ton of different stuff, guys. And so now you should have a really good solid base with a bunch of your own notes, how it applies to your own business, when to use each one. And again, you can come back, you can refer back to these videos whenever you want. Obviously, you're going to have these handy dandy PDFs for as long as you like. And so now you're going to know when to use which marketing objective, which is going to give you kind of the best bang for your buck, the most results for the cheapest price, so you can explode your business, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and let's get to the next.